Hey, good morning, DFS Army. It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, here with another Prize Picks video. And I'm going to give you my 5 favorite prize picks for today, and I will rank them top priority 1 through 5. Again, they also have single stats as well, and points, rebounds, assists, and 3-pointers. Those aren't out yet as I'm doing this video, so this is going to be only fantasy points here. Baseball's in full effect. We have that as well, college basketball. For tonight for the championship game. But I'm going to focus on NBA here. And again, just give you my 5 favorite fantasy score. And then later, maybe I'll drop some single stat within our VIP chat. But if you don't have if you don't have a Prize Picks account, head on over to prizepicks.com, use promo code DFSArmy, get 100% instant match deposit up to $100. That's very simple to play. Pick 2 to 5 players. You can win up to 10 extra money. It's very simple to do. I'm going to show you on the mobile. I'm going to show you on the desktop version, but they have a mobile app on App Store and Google Play. But with that, let's jump right into this and see the 5 plays that I like today. All right, as you can see, I have my 5 favorite plays up here. We'll talk a little bit about the other ones as well. And when single stats drop a little bit later, we'll be in the DFS Army VIP chat for that to talk about some of those. But first and foremost, let's go the first 5 that I do like here. Number 1, I'm going to go Lamarcus Aldridge over 26 fantasy points. Now, this does hinge on me for James Harden to sit. He is currently questionable. If he plays, I'm a little bit more nervous on this over 26 fantasy points, but Blake Griffin should sit here on a back-to-back. LMA didn't score a ton of points in last night's game or yesterday's game, but again, on a back-to-back with no Blake Griffin, he should be the number 2 option right with Kyrie Irving. So I feel this is a little bit low. In the same situation we saw with no Harden and no Blake Griffin 2 games ago, he put up almost 40 fantasy points. So I feel like that's a little low if this same scenario holds out. Number 2, I'm going Saddiq Bey over 21 fantasy points here. This game's going to be chock full of fantasy goodness due to the shortages that OKC has. So I like some of the OKC plays as well. But on Detroit, there is no Mason Plumlee here. Miles Plumlee. He had all his brothers playing. No Mason Plumlee here. There's no Okafor here. So there's going to be, the bigs are where I want to target. Isaiah Stewart's probably going to get the start at center. Saddiq Bey is going to play quite a bit here. They're pretty guard heavy, but Saddiq Bey, Grant, Stewart all get bumps for me when it comes to fantasy points here, going against OKC. So we should see a good chunk of minutes out of Saddiq Bey, probably in the mid to low 30s. But again, I feel like this is just a tad bit low for him at 21 fantasy points, especially if he gets hot from 3, because he's a 3-point shooter. And again, against the OKC team that's might only have 8 or 9 guys, we could see some good run out of Saddiq Bey. So over 21 fantasy points for him. The next one I like is Anthony Edwards over 39 fantasy points. I know this number is very high, but they have a lot of injury news. Malik Beasley, Jalen Noel, D'Angelo Russell, Ricky Rubio, all questionable for Minnesota. We could have a very short front or backcourt here. Could be, basically Jordan McLaughlin and Anthony Edwards leading the pack here. Both might play close to 35 to 40 minutes because they're not going to have any guards. So I think he can crush this. Even at 39 is a pretty high number. I think he gets into the 40s here against Sacramento. So, even in a blowout situation, I think Edwards is going to be out there playing. They just don't have any guards. So I like the over 39 on Anthony Edwards. Next one we're going to go here is Darius Garland over 29 fantasy points. Going up against the Spurs here. This number just felt a tad bit low. If this game stays close, Vegas has the Spurs favored by, I believe it's 8.5. But it does feel a little low with Darius Garland. There's a little bit of meat left on the bone in this pick here. He's went over 29 fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 games. Again, I would like some of the single stat entries better than this pick. These last 2 are kind of a little iffy for me. So if I was going to pick, I'd pick the top 3. But I wanted to give some of my thoughts and give you top 5 pick until the single stats do come out. And I'm getting this video out early so you can jump on some of these lines. And then the last one is Alec Burks under 24 fantasy points for the Knicks going up against Brooklyn. My only issue and the reason I'm going under on this Alec Burks is Derrick Rose is back. Elf Payton is there. Reggie Bullock is there. Emmanuel Quickly is there. They have all their guards. So we might only see 20 to 24 minutes out of Alec Burks. And I think D Rose is going to suck up all that usage. So I'm just going to lean the under here for Alec Burks, just because I think there's too many guards here. Even though the matchup's not bad against Brooklyn, I just think Tibbs is going to continue to play all these guys around 20 to 24 minutes. And I'm just going to lean that he doesn't quite get there for under 24 fantasy points. As we go through a couple of these picks real quick, while we wait on single stats, Julius Randle feels about right. Kyrie Irving feels about right. Maybe I like Kyrie Irving a little bit more if Harden does sit, but don't love it. Joe Harris, that feels a little light. I might go the over on that one, but again, I don't really ever like betting Joe Harris. Donovan Mitchell, 40. If this game stays close, I like the over on that. He almost got there when I recommended him the other day, but he only played 22 minutes and put up like 39 fantasy points. They just crushed Orlando. So Rudy Gobert, 41 fantasy points. I would lean the over on that one as well. Looking down through this a little bit more, I like Siakam and OG a lot if Van Fleet sits, but these are really priced up. I'm not sure that I can go there, even though I love this matchup. I love OG. I would lean the over there. Siakam 46, man, that's sitting right there. If Van Fleet plays, I might lean the under on Siakam, but great matchup for both these guys. But these are really high lines. It's hard to recommend that. Same with Russell Westbrook. I think if Beal sits, I like Russell Westbrook, but at the same time, that's real high, and those turnovers can really get to him to get over that fantasy point number. So all these guys are really marked up where I would maybe lean the unders in these guys, even though they're in a great matchup, but it's somewhere that I can't really look at going here. Colin Sexton, 34. I don't really have a big lean on that one. Gary Trent Jr., 30. He's put over 40 fantasy points his last two games. If no Fred VanVleet, I think Gary Trent Jr. is the guy I would lean over all these picks in this Toronto-Washington game. But I need that Fred VanVleet news before I pull the trigger on that. Kevin Love seems low at 26 fantasy points. Problem is he's only playing like 22 minutes. He can get there in 22 minutes, but he's got to be super efficient in his shots and his usage, and I just can't really go there. Jakob Poeltl, 35 fantasy points seems high, but he's put up pretty decent numbers. That's a pretty good line. I don't really want to lean anything on that one. Theo Maledon's one guy I was looking at the over. They are really shorthanded, like I said, with OKC. They have a lot of guys out, so they could run a 9-man rotation. And Theo Maledon could see 40 minutes and put up a monster score. So I lean the over one on Theo Maledon here. And we look at, I wish there was another guy like an OKC that they would put out here. Just having the two picks, because Moses Brown, again, I would lean the over on this one, but it's still, I need to see the minutes there. If Moses Brown's going to get more. The problem is Moses Brown and Tony Bradley are splitting minutes at the center position, and that what makes me worry about the over 33. If we were getting Moses Brown over 30 minutes, I would crush the over on that, but I worry with him and Tony Bradley splitting minutes. I don't really know if I want to go there. So that's, again, a few picks that I like here over at Prizepicks. If you don't have an account, head on over. Use promo code DFSArmy and get that 100% instant deposit match up to $100. And jump into our VIP chat where we're talking Prizepicks all day long, and hopefully help you win some money. So with that, I appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell when you know I upload these videos, and I will see you on the flip side. Have a fantastic money. Deuces.